Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. And I hope you return home safely this evening after the meeting. But it's now 6 p.m. and we do have our regular board meeting scheduled for 6. So we're all here. Thank you again. I would like to have the roll call of the board, district.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here. It's always great to see so many faces from Coconino County and our residents. And we have a special proclamation for you today, too. So it's great for all of you to be here and great to see you. My name is Patrice Horseman. I am the supervisor for District 1 and also vice chair of the board.
District 2.
Good evening, everyone. Geronimo Vasquez, supervisor for District 2. Thank you for being here tonight.
District 3.
Good evening, everyone. Tammy Ontiveros, District 3.
I'm a District 4's Board of Supervisor and current chair of the board. District 5. We will now do the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. We will go ahead and proceed with the call to the public. We will now have call to the public to allow for any comments from the public. Please note that issues presented during the call to the public that are not on the agenda cannot be acted on by the Board of Supervisors. For items on the agenda, individual supervisors may ask questions of the public, but are prohibited by open meeting law from discussing or considering the item. Only the speaker who has been called upon is authorized to speak. To encourage and respect expression of all views, we ask that there are no disruptions. If you have comments that are related to the public hearing items on the agenda, please wait to comment until we get to that particular item and open the public hearing. Individuals are limited to 3 minutes for their comments. Clerk Daly will explain how the public can now provide comments.
Thank you, Chair Begay. At this time, if there is anyone that would like to provide a comment during this call to the public, we have comment cards by the door. I have received comment cards, but they all are pertaining to the public hearing. So we'll wait till we get to that item for the public hearing and comments on that. If you've joined the meeting virtually via Zoom, you can hit the raise hand icon that will appear if you hover towards the bottom of your screen. It looks like a hand. If you click on that, that will raise your hand and notify us that you would like to speak. If you've joined by telephone, you can hit *9, and that will raise your hand and notify us that you would like to speak. Is there anyone here present in the room that wants to do a comment for a call to the public? You can also come on up to the podium, even if you haven't filled out a comment card yet. And Chair Begay, I do have a hand raised on the virtual side.
Okay.
I have one hand raised. I'm going to go ahead and allow you to speak. You will, I got two. You will get 3 minutes to speak. You need to state your name and address for minutes. And then we'll cut the microphone once the 3 minutes are up. And this one is a username by end. If you can please unmute, we'll start the clock for 3 minutes.
Yes, hello, my name is Luke McKee and I live at Bin Homes, Smart City, Hanoi. My Twitter account is endthezb951 visa. And if you should be able to see my username if it's not been obscured by Lindsay. Last week, 14 minutes in, Patricia Horseman broke the Arizona Open Meetings Law and said my claims were unsubstantiated that Coconino County Superior Court Judge Joshua Steinlage is denying Adam Alistair Woodruff-Smith his Sixth Amendment rights to a trial to cover up a scandal involving Coconino County HHS in this county paying porn star nurse imposters to do a nurse's jobs. They are not my claims. They're all fully sourced from government documents on my Twitter and now police videos of Rachel Belinsky's testimony. She worked in the hospital to back up to back up an existing Fox 10 Justin Lum news story regarding Coconino County Jail allowing unqualified police volunteers to sign people into the jail anonymously. Now, when Patricia Horseman said my claims were unsubstantiated, did she claim Emma Manuele, General Counsel of the Arizona Board of Nursing, makes unsubstantiated claims? Is Patricia Horseman saying the Sedona Police and Coconino County's Attorney's Office jail people presently without a court date for a number of years on unsubstantiated claims? Rachel Belinsky was administrating COVID shots at the Sedona Northern Area Health Hospital. Is she implying that qualified nurses in this county have to compete with work with porn stars in the films I named last week? Check the replay 14 minutes in, who are nurse imposters. And any criticism of this employment practice enabled by Northern Area Health flag staff that gets grants from your county and ironically have their representative and attorney Douglas Loudon on the Board of Nursing 1803 advisory board is wrong. And also Robin Begay and Victims Witness Services in Northern Arizona are paying people who confess their Class 5 felony crimes of practicing medicine without a license for loss of illicit income, as well as their best friends who are ineligible under victims' compensation rules. Miss Julie K. Hudson, who redacted her book in social media on order from your Coconino County's Attorney's Office, who coordinate with the Ultimate Light mission she performs at as a singer, whose leadership put a lien on the mayor of Sedona's house and all the other council people there. That's why they're called domestic terrorists in the Tuscan Sentinel newspaper. Our data broker suggests Miss Begay is related to the chairperson, and nepotism isn't uncommon in small communities, as I've been stalked by a judge's daughter who works for Coconino County's Attorney's Office. The real reason they don't want this to go to trial is because of the Ordo Templi Orientis and Rachel Belinsky being member of this child abuse, blood-consuming cult with a doctrine in their most holy book, the book.
Next, we have Sean Maitoma. Sean, I'm going to go ahead and allow you to speak. If you can go ahead and unmute yourself and then state your name and address for our minute. You'll have 3 minutes to speak.
How's it going? My name is Sean Maitoma. I am from.
Do you want pain? Do you want pain? Do you want pain? Do you want pain?
And I do have a comment that's come in through the email box from Jill Stevenson that I'll go ahead and read. Jill Stevenson, 1913 East Linda Vista Drive. This morning I heard the children at Puente de Jozo out for recess, happily playing, running and yelling and having fun. It suddenly occurred to me that they would be likely targets for ICE. Puente is a multicultural elementary school teaching English, Spanish, and Navajo. Some of these children may be undocumented and thus on ICE's radar. The Flagstaff Chief of Police has stated that his department will not enable ICE's targeted arrests. They will not support this kind of cruelty towards our neighbors. I would hope the Coconino County Law Enforcement Department would also not enable ICE to terrorize children and their families, whether or not they are undocumented. As citizens of Coconino County, we need to know what to expect. We want to help our neighbors, good contributing people who may not have the necessary legal paperwork yet through no fault of their own. Many have led life-threatening situations in their native countries. Some are merely hoping to work towards better lives for the families. Of course, any immigrants who have been convicted of serious crimes no longer deserve residence in our country, and this is not the group I'm talking about, but innocent, law-abiding immigrants need our protection. Please let me know what we can expect of our county sheriff. Thank you for your consideration, Jill Stevenson. Chair Begay, I have no other hands raised at this time.
We'll give it like 30 seconds again.
There are no hands raised, Chair Begay.
Thank you, Lindsay. At this time, we're going to be moving on to proclamation, consideration and possible action to approve a proclamation celebrating the 95th anniversary of Pluto's discovery. We do have a Jared Van Bell that's going to be reading the proclamation.
And I think it's time to change the mood in the boardroom. And we're really glad you're here from Lowell, and thank you for bringing your family with you as well.
Thank you. My name is Gerard Van Bell. I am the Director of Science at the Lowell Observatory. Thank you for having me, the Board of Supervisors. Closer to the mic. All right. Yes, it is on. Very good. All right, so a proclamation in celebration of the 95th anniversary of Pluto's discovery. Whereas the dark skies and elevation of Coconino County and Flagstaff, Arizona, were an ideal location for Lowell Observatory to be founded in 1894 by Percival Lowell, and the location where Vesto Slipher identified the expanding universe in 1912. And whereas the observatory is renowned for many astronomical observations and discoveries, including astronomer Clyde Tombaugh's discovery of Pluto in February 18, 1930, using the Lawrence Lowell telescope. And whereas Pluto is the only planet discovered in the United States, and its discovery ignited excitement throughout the world. And whereas Pluto's status was changed to a dwarf planet in 2006 by the International Astronomical Union, yet Pluto remains a planet in our hearts, symbolized by the planet itself, by the heart-shaped region aptly named Tombaugh Regio. And whereas among the many discoveries at Pluto, its astronomers continued its research on Pluto, and in 1988, astronomers assisted in the discovery of Pluto's atmosphere and were instrumental in the 2015 New Horizons probe, which flew by Pluto and provided a closer look at the dwarf planet. And whereas the discovery of Pluto and astronomical research studies at Lowell Observatory led to the world's first dark sky lighting ordinance enacted in Flagstaff in 1958. And whereas Coconino County and Flagstaff are at the forefront of the effort to reduce light pollution through education and best practices, which resulted in Flagstaff being named the world's first international dark sky city in 2001 by the International Dark Sky Association. And whereas Pluto's legacy across the world and its discovery in Flagstaff led Pluto being named the official state planet of Arizona in 2024. And now, therefore, be it resolved that Coconino County will celebrate the 95th anniversary of the discovery of Pluto with 5 days of exploration, education, and awe of the cosmos from February 13 to 17, 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bell, for reading the proclamation. Are there any events that are going to be happening pertaining to this proclamation?
There's going to be a lot of events happening in town, starting with we have a astronomy on tap at Mother Road, and there's going to be events on Friday night, including a pub crawl. We have a number of events up at the observatory at our new Astronomy Discovery Center, which is getting record-breaking attendance, and that's very nice. And that'll continue through Monday. There'll be some talks up on the hill Monday evening. So many things going on, a lot of excitement. You can go find about it at the Lowell Observatory website.
Thank you. At this time, are there any comments that the board wish to make?
I do.
Supervisor Horseman.
This is one of my very favorite celebrations, as you can tell. So we really appreciate you being here from Lowell. And as for the rest of us, as the proud city and county where Pluto was discovered, it is important that we, as the Board of Supervisors, join in on the 95th anniversary celebration of Pluto. Pluto is a planet in our hearts and is recognized as, of course, a state planet. We are the only state in the union that has a state planet. So that's a lot of bragging rights that we have. So Lowell, and many of you may not know, has many astronomical achievements. And please go on the website and check it out. It is amazing. It's been a place for education, exploration, family fun with the opening of the Discovery Center. And if you haven't gone, and if you haven't taken your kids or grandkids, now's the time. It is really amazing. Lowell is one of the oldest observatories in the country, and Lowell was named by Time magazine as the world's 100 most important places. Obviously, the influence on our community is multifaceted, from dark skies, astrotourism, kids camps, and even inspiring special beers, the Pluto designated beer at Mother Road and at other breweries across Flagstaff. So hope to see you out Thursday at Mother Road. And of course, the pub crawl, I believe, is Friday night. So thank you, and thank you for reading it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Horseman. Any other comments by the board? Super Vasquez?
Yes, thank you for reading the proclamation. So much fun to celebrate. Yeah, we got that last year. Wanted to bring it to support. We love Pluto, and so important that we celebrate this this monument that's happened here in Flagstaff and here in Coconino County, and we recognize it. The new Discovery Center is so great, and it all ties in. And you think about dark skies, you think about astronomy in Coconino County, and just what a big part of our economic development it is for the local economy. And so we're just really grateful to have Lowell as part of our county, and always look for a reason to celebrate and enjoy one of the wonders of the United States. And I did not know that about us having a state planet. So that's pretty cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Vasquez. Supervisor?
I just want to make a very brief statement. Thank you so much for saying that Pluto is a planet and not downplaying it to the dwarf, when even when that was announced, I'm like, no, Pluto is always a planet to me. So thank you for that recognition.
Supervisor Fowler?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the proclamation and the beautiful Discovery Center. It's really great. We do dark sky parties throughout the county, and we're always looking for Pluto. And this is such a great educational opportunity for all to get to know our planet and to really appreciate the dark sky and just the environment that we live in. We're so fortunate to be able to say that we can see the stars. Long time ago, my earlier life, I guess, I used to do tours, international tours, and I take them out and have them lay down on the canyon or rim or somewhere at really dark, and people start crying because it's the first time that they're really seeing stars from horizon to horizon. It just like can't believe there's such a world. So and your work and all of the Lowell Observatory work is so important to be able to bring this to and preserve the dark skies here. So, and helping us to preserve that. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just also would like to say, if you have time to go there and see, it's something to look at. So there are a lot of educational things are in there. So I just wanted to say, just come over to the Lowell Observatory and get educated more, on it. So Supervisor Horseman.
And with that, and with those wonderful comments from my colleagues, it's my honor to make a motion approving our proclamation celebrating the 95th anniversary of Pluto's discovery and joining in the celebration with Lowell Observatory.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made. There's also a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. At this time, we'll go ahead and get a picture taken. I'll be right up front here.
You're welcome to join us with a photo, if they will.
Next on the agenda, we have the Board of Supervisors consent agenda. All matters under consent agenda are considered to be routine and will be enacted by a single motion. Are there any items that board members want to consider separately?
Madam Chair, if I may,
Go ahead.
can we separate item number 3 and item number 6 from the consent agenda?
Any other items? Okay. We have a motion.
Motion to approve the consent agenda, removing 3 and 6.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made. There's a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. We're back to item number 3. Erica?
Thank you, Chair and Supervisors. I believe Lucinda Andriani is online to speak to this item and answer any questions you may have. Good evening, Lucinda.
Good evening, Erica. Thank you very much. Thank you, board. We're excited to bring this forward. As you well know, because you've been very supportive of pursuing this Protect grant through the Federal Department of Transportation for now, I think we're going on at about 2 years. By the time we made the application, we're selected and then have moved through an agreement development process with the Department of Transportation, Federal Highways, and very excited to move this forward and begin to really work on. As you know, we've done some preliminary work, of course, to apply for the grant, but to really dive into the engineering and get these projects moving forward. Very excited to do this. This is just really a key project in that you're well aware, because you've heard from many constituents throughout the county how devastating the flooding was in 2022 from the pipeline fire and how it affected Highway 89. And that ended up forcing a tremendous amount of traffic through the Navajo Nation and through the Hopi tribal area. Ended up having very negative impacts in those areas, creating hazardous conditions, as well as, preventing people to be able to utilize 89 to get to work, to get to school, to get to medical care. Tremendous impacts, let alone the impact on our economy. It's a tremendous avenue for commerce and for tourism in northern Arizona. This is one of the only highways that connects us to Utah and to Colorado. So it has a lot of impact. It was closed 13 times in 22, and we believe that the projects that will be completed through this grant will have a a positive impact on reducing those impacts. So appreciate your consideration of this. I want to add that once, if you do so elect to approve accepting this grant, then we will come back with a subrecipient agreement between the county and the flood control district for your approval. The money, DOT, the money does need to flow through the county because the county has a transportation authority and they tend to, they want, of course, there being a transportation agency, even though our projects obviously support the federal state highway, they still prefer that the money flow through the county. But the flood control district will implement these projects in concert with our other flood district projects in the flood area. So again, thank you for your consideration. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Lucinda. Any comments by the board? Questions? Supervisor Fowler?
Yes, thank you. I'm really happy that this grant actually came through because we weren't sure if it was actually gonna be approved, or if it's approved, if it's even gonna get here with all the uncertainty of funding. So I'm really happy that this has, that we are in the process of approving this. And at the Highway 89, once it's closed, we were actually very surprised when flooding went through and it just shut down the road or the highway, and it happened several times. And every time it happens, the people that are traveling north or traveling south, that are going to school, or else, medical staff being transported back and forth from Tuba City, teachers and students that are going to school, that people that are just doing their daily business of, and it just was just such a really such a big surprise. People were calling and saying, which way do I go? How do I get to where I need to get to Flagstaff or Page or onward somewhere? And we had to figure out how to redirect them, which is around Grand Canyon or through Hopi. And it was just such a really impact on many people's lives. So I'm really happy that this has gone through and we are in the process of approving it. So thank you for all your work. And I know this is a team effort that we've been working on. It's always, all the things that we do, it's always a team effort. So thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Fowler. Any other comments? Supervisor Vasquez?
Yeah, it's feels real good to finally get to this point. As was mentioned, it's been a long time coming. This isn't something that appeared overnight. It was diligent, hard work by our staff and our board supporting them to be able to get this this grant. You know, it's hard to believe that it's almost going to be 3 years since the tunnel pipeline fire. And it's pretty amazing the amount of work that's been accomplished, and the what's left to do is minimal compared to Schultz fire. I mean, it took 3 years just to get shovels in the ground after Schultz. And so the fact that we've mitigated 8 of 9 watersheds over this time and now going to be able to do the upgrades on Highway 89 with the Protect grant is really a testament to the whole team, everybody that was involved to make this happen, from county staff to partners, ADOT, all the different folks, the Forest Service, NRCS, all the different folks that we've worked with that have helped get us to this point. Of course, Tiffany Construction for their work. And so just I'm happy to be at that point. And unless anybody has any other comments, I'd love to make a motion that we approve this funding.
Go ahead.
Yep, I made the motion. Or
Second.
The motion's been made and there is a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Going to
Thank
item
you.
number 6.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lucinda. Thank you for all the hard work you do with your staff, and then all the administration and others that help, and then also the board here being very supportive of a lot of initiatives that go through the county. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And I want to thank Metro Plan. They were really instrumental in working with us to apply for this grant. And Kate and Sandra put a lot of time and effort into this, and it paid off. We were successful in, getting about $20 million. And also got the match through the state transportation board, the lion's share of that. So really want to thank them as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 6.
If I may.
Supervisor Horseman.
Yes, I asked to pull this, and this is consideration and possible action to reappoint Sailor Caudell and I think she has a different last name, and hopefully Sailor can let us know if Sailor has a different last name, to serve on behalf of District 1 on the Community Action Advisory Board. And Sailor has always put community first. Sailor also serves in District 1 on Parks and Rec. They are also agreeing to continue service on District 1 as a community advisory board. So I want to thank Sailor. I want to thank Sailor for all of her concerns, all of their concerns, for District 1. I believe Sailor is with us. And if they would like to say something, I think now would be the time. And I know we all, Sailor, I'm sorry. Sailor Darling, and I'm sorry I forgot your new last name, and congratulations, Sailor. I know you're with us. I know you were working and you couldn't get here, but we always appreciate those that work so hard for us here in Coconino County and serves on our boards and commissions. So Sailor, if you'd like to say a few words, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's my new married name. And I don't know why my video is not coming up, but I do want to say just thank you so much for these opportunities to serve. I am absolutely crazy about the work that the CAB is doing. Andrea and her team are doing amazing things. And every time I sit down and listen to the solutions that they have to the needs of our community, I'm so impressed with our county and with the work that they're doing. Really just couldn't say no to continuing to be a part of the CAB, because it is probably, I don't know, just one of the most feel-good things that I've been a part of. So thanks so much for introducing me to that board, and thanks for letting me serve on that board. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for your continued service. And with that, I would like to make a motion to reappoint Sailor Darling to serve on behalf of District 1 on the Community Action Advisory Board for a 1-year term to expire January 24th, 2026.
I'll second that.
Maybe there's a motion and there's a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The board may may I have a motion to resolve as the Flood Control District Board of Directors.
So moved.
Motion made by Supervisor Vasquez, second by Supervisor Fowler. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We are now at the consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve the Flood Control District consent agenda item number 7, or if it's at the wishes of the board to pull?
I'd make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented in the agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion by Director Horseman, seconded by Director Vasquez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We are now going to go resolve as a Board of Supervisors. There's a motion by Director. Anybody motion?
So moved.
Okay, Director Horseman, seconded by Director Fowler. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next items are executive session items. May I have a motion to go to executive session for items 8 and 9 to obtain legal advice?
If I may.
Okay, wait. Okay, from our legal counsel. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
I know that we have some folks here on that public hearing. Is the public hearing time certain? Or can we put that public hearing on the agenda before the executive session? I'm asking a question.
Just The question is, was it published for 6 o'clock? Can we adjust to move the public hearing up to now before exec session, or did you have it published for a different time after 6? Okay, so yes, Chair Begay, you can address the public hearing item.
So moving back, we're gonna go back and do the, okay, gotta get back on that. Okay, now we are gonna go back to item number, so so what you're saying, do you want the public hearing, right?
And members of the board, I'd recommend that we go to item 12, and I do have a comment to make on 12, but I would recommend we go to 12 before we go into our executive session. There are a number of people here who have traveled far or even near, and just so they don't have to wait, I would like to go to 12 first if there's no objection from other members of the board.
No objection.
Okay, may I have a motion to do so?
I would move 12 up for our next action item then.
I'll second.
Okay, motion's been made by Supervisor Horstman, seconded by Supervisor Terrace. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We are on item number 12 now.
And if I may,
Yes, go ahead,
before we
Supervisor.
start, and I want you to know that I have talked with both the applicants, and I've also talked to Miranda Baldowski, who is here on a petition that we received this morning. So they both know that I'm going to be asking this board for a motion today for continuance, and I want to explain why before I make that motion. As you know, this is a public hearing to switch G to CG. This is currently a legal non-conforming status that is being asked to be changed to legally conforming status. The CG, which would be legally conforming status, would allow changes to the properties, additions, improvements through a CUP process consistent with CG zoning. This morning, we received an objection for the zoning and a petition signed by 2122 Valley residents, all who I know have been working very hard on what they hope will one day be a Valley area plan. They're concerned about zoning changes without having an area plan in place. The Valley area plan currently was done in 1999. We were hopeful we were going to get it done before the comprehensive plan for the county started. Obviously, we weren't able to. And so the area plan for Valley has been on hold until the county completes its comprehensive plan, which makes sense and we all understand. And Miranda, thank you for serving on the comprehensive plan, by the way. So they are asking that there be no zone changes by the board until the area plan is completed. Now, we know that that area plan is likely, at best, it's going to take 2.5 or 3 years. I understand the concerns of the petitioners, but I also understand the concerns that the applicants would have in order to wait to utilize their property consistent with the CG zoning, which is the zoning that those across the street, right across the street from them, currently enjoy. So I have called and talked to our legal advisors, and I have asked them in respect for the property owners and in respect to those that are here today with their petitions voicing concerns. I've asked if we could continue this matter, continue this public hearing, till a date certain, and I think March 18th is a date, and I think that meets all the notice requirements, to allow our community development and our legal to review why there was a C zoning here in the first place, and also to provide legal advice to the board on whether we have the authority to delay zoning decisions until after an area plan is completed, which of course, recognizing it's 2 or 3 years down the road. I'd like a full review in respect for the parties here. I'd like a full review and full information presented to this board. Since we didn't have time to do that before tonight's meeting, I'm hereby making a motion that we continue the public hearing on this matter and set it for a public hearing where we will be able to receive full information from community development and legal counsel to the March 18th date, as long as, and I'd like confirmation from community development, as long as that March 18th date gives us, meets the timelines and the dates. And that's my motion.
Okay, so there is a motion on this particular public hearing item. Is there a second? Oh, you would say something first?
Good evening, Madam Chair and Supervisors. Jacob.
Wait.
Hold on.
Wait.
Hold on. I can second. Oppose.
Second. Yeah, there is a motion and a second already to approve. Okay, there is a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Is that date going to work?
Madam Chair and Supervisors, yes, it will.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you. Okay, we're back down to. Now, go back. Okay, we are now, may I have, I read this already. May I have a motion to resolve as a board of, no. Where am I at now?
Motion for
Executive session, yeah. Okay, motions were made. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Tammy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries, and we will be back after we're done with the executive session. Thank you. 10, consideration and possible action to approve a waiver of conflict for Gus Rosenfeld, a PLC. Are we going to make a motion here?
Yes, I will. Sorry about that. Are we going to go to 10 or 11 first? 10 is the way.
We did both of them.
10, let's do 10.
I'd like to make a motion for consideration, possible action to approve a waiver of conflict for Gus Rosenthal PLC.
I'll second.
The motion has been made. There's a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item. Number 11.
Madam Chair, if I may,
Go ahead.
I would like to make a motion to approve a settlement in the Flagstaff Properties 1 LLC v. Coconino County case TX 2023-00218, an active tax valuation appeal, and agree as part of that settlement to a $115 million full cash value for the property.
I'll second.
Okay, motion has been made by Supervisor Horstman, second by Supervisor Contreras. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have some discussion items here. Do we have item number 13?
We need any discussion?
No. Go ahead.
Madam Chair, I guess I know we heard from Keith last time, and I guess my question is there any items or updates on state or federal matters that he would like to address the board on, or should we save this to the next board meeting?
Supervisors, how do you?
Keith, if you can unmute.
Okay, motion's been made and there's a second.
I thought we were waiting to hear from Keith if there was anything worth hearing.
You guys have a motion right here in a second.
That was a motion? I didn't realize that was a motion.
I didn't either, but
I thought she
Oh,
was. It was a motion. Oh, there he is.
You know,
The troublemaker causing all the problems.
We take that back.
Come on, podium.
no, we have a question for you. And that is that it is discussion and update regarding state and federal legislative or administrative matters. If you need to make a report or any updates, are here to hear it. If you don't, just let us know. Okay.
I think that I'll make a very short update. So mostly we're tracking on the federal level. We're preparing for the NACO visit and working with our lobbyists to try to get some congressional and administration visits ready. We are working on a letter to try to ensure that they don't shrink the boundaries of the Hodge and Wavju Ita Tukvini ancestral footprints of the Grand Canyon National Monument. So that's a work in progress. And then at the state level, there's a few bills that we're watching. There was a bill that might impact our elections that would be passed to the voters that did get through a first committee assignment. It's a Rachel Keschel bill. And so we'll continue to monitor that. But if that moves forward and passes, the governor doesn't have an opportunity to veto it. It would go to the voters. And if the voters passed it in the future, they could change the way elections are done here. But that's a long ways off, but just one to watch. And then there is a bill that, a bipartisan bill that Senator Angus, who used to be a county supervisor in Mojave County, put together to kind of restore funding to Pathways program. It has support from both parties. We're looking at it, but HHS and the sheriff's office have looked at it approvingly. So I will bring it by individual members to take a look at for potential for support. Otherwise, that's all I have by way of an update, unless anybody has questions.
Any questions by the board?
No.
Okay, there being none. Thank you, Keith. We have County Manager Andy Burleson.
Chair Begay, members of the board, I believe Andy needs to be promoted.
just can't believe it. I know.
Okay, thank you, Lindsay, for promoting me. Keith, thank you for the brief update. Really appreciate that. Your tracking of both state and federal legislative matters. We know that we have events ahead of us the next couple of weeks with the Pluto events and Lowell Observatory. Thank you for highlighting those this morning. Also wanted to note that we will be, I believe, going through a review process of our Workforce Investment Board Director, Billy Francis. And so we'll be sending out an email to the board if you would like to participate in that or name a designee as staff to participate in that review. Also, we have a follow-up to our retreat advance that we held last Wednesday. I believe that is next Friday afternoon, the 21st. We are going a bit into the evening next Friday, so just prepare for that. I think we'll be advancing until about 6 p.m. again at the mess hall, and very much looking forward to continued progress with that. So thank you for your time, and that concludes my update, unless anybody else has any, if any board members have any questions, or if Erica, if you have anything to report as well. So Erica, thank you so much for being there and for covering, and Aaron Andian as well. Thank you for covering in the county attorney's office. We appreciate your participation in our meeting. So with that, I will sign off unless there are any questions.
Any questions by the board?
I have none.
Okay, thank you. No other questions. Okay, we have roundtable.
I would recommend that we waive roundtable yet again, and we do it at the next board meeting, if everybody's in agreement.
I am in agreement. I concur with that.
Okay.
As I.
Okay, it's now 7:16 p.m. and we are adjourned.